I hope you're going to edit this drastically.
Yes, it's not terrible. It could be worse. You're not the only one wearing a skirt, Rachel.
Well, we tossed around a lot of ideas for this year. Matter of fact, we landed on a couple that we ended up going back to the drawing board and coming up with night and day. And we felt like this theme would not hem us in. It would give us a lot of variety. And we always want to reach our audience on a number of levels. We want anybody in that audience to be able to enjoy what we're doing. And so something like Night and Day allows you to pick from a variety of tunes that's just huge, a lot of different genres.
Now, you guys started practicing, rehearsing when?
May.
May? Just like the rest of the band, right?
So I want to introduce you to people who you're going to see running things and providing leadership during the week. Let's start with our two assistant directors. We got Dr. Joe Gray, an associate director right here in the blue shirt. The purple shirt is Dr. Tracy Wiggins, that runs the percussion program. The yellow shirt is Miss Rebecca Tedder, who works with our auxiliary. Miss Heron has stepped out for a minute, so I'll introduce her in a moment. Our drum majors. Where are our drum majors? Right here, Cameron Hall and Aiden Trout, right here. Your majorette, raise your hand. Majorette's right over here, and their captain is Miss Ansley Hines. Stand up, Ansley. And our linettes, raise your hand if you're a linette. Here are the linettes right over here. They're being headed up by Kylie Nix and Reagan Hathaway, right there. Coast Guard, raise your hand, Coast Guard. Yep, that's them. They're being headed up by Miranda Haycock and Julie Reeves, which right here. Going to capture all your great moments and all your not so great moments, Mr. Klaus Martell with the camera. Yeah, band camp was just show enough hot. Let me tell you, man. And matter of fact, the whole season has been very warm and not much rain at all. We're of course in a drought, and that can work for you in the band business in that you don't lose days to rain. I think we may have lost one day, and that might have been in band camp. and that shows are a little bit more physical. Of course, the field we're on is I wouldn't call it level by any stretch. It's like rehearsing on the surface of the moon. But that's just the predicament we're in now. By next year, they want to break ground for a new stadium, which means they'll have to move the Marching Pride to another facility. They tell us they're going to build that at Cox Creek. It's going to be a turf field. It's going to have lights, a tower. I've also requested restrooms, a storage facility, a pavilion to get people out of the weather should weather become inclement. We have nowhere to go. Here we can get right to the dorms or right to Flowers. Or, we're right here on campus. We're close, but out there we're a long ways off. They're only going to do this once, so we got to make sure we guide them the right way and get the things that the students will need.
That was better than last night. You got better just by having last night. We got better today. We've got to get better every day next week. Get this thing where when we perform it, they think that's the pinnacle. What announcements do we have?
It's Bryce Sewell's birthday.
Bryce Sewell from down there at Hewitt-Trussville High School.
It's Connell's birthday.
Connell Cornelius from out there at Lauderdale County High School. What else we got?
It's not a birthday, but I need to meet with all sexual leaders after this.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, you need to drink water, right? Right. You also need to drink other things that are going to hydrate you as well, that have electrolytes, potassium, salt. You need to have those things as well. Got it? Drink water, drink Gatorade.
All those healthy drinks. Don't drink Mountain Dew.
I need to see that anyone interested in joining TBS.
If you have an interest in TBS, go back there and see Kobe.
I need to meet with all those who I've assigned as truck drivers for this semester.
Truck drivers, go see Cameron. Section leaders, see Della. Give me an F. This is Price and Connell. A 1, 2.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Connell. Happy birthday to you.
The first one was added prior to the season. Actually, it was the 0 week. There was a kickoff classic in Montgomery, and UNA was playing Mercer University from Georgia. Well, we didn't have that on our schedule. We didn't think we would be going to that. We thought we would start over in September. That was in August. Well, just a few weeks prior, they found out that the Mercer University band would be attending, so they called us and said, hey, can y'all go to this? Of course, we said, yeah. It just meant getting ready 10 days ahead of time, which was a challenge. We started band camp, and then 20 days later had a show. That was a challenge.
What?
I like that.
What?
It's the heat index is 112. I like that.
It's really good news. Really good thing to hear that the heat index is 112.
It's my favorite.
Really great thing to know right before we go into a packed.
No,
it's not even packed into a stadium.
You know, it's going to be worse.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a bowl with heat in it.
They call it the bowl.
Yeah.
The Crampton Bowl. We're facing the sun, is what Dr. Jones said. And I think we're getting sunglasses, so that's cool.
So what do you have to say about this?
We shouldn't have worn purple shirts. It's gonna show the sweat stain.
It meant changing the uniform when it was 103 degrees in Montgomery. We're not going to wear the uniform and just burn up. So we went through several iterations of that, of is it really going to be that hot? Let's see if we can wear the uniforms, to, all right, we're going to take them off at this point, wear them at this point, to let's just wear our T-shirts and shorts. And we really don't have any hot weather apparel. And it highlighted that, and that we can, now address that. If we're going to be in these early season games, we need to have a very uniform look in that. That's what colleges do now. And that's just something UNA wasn't prepared for at the moment, because we didn't know we were going to the game.
Hot.
Yeah, it's pretty hot out here.
It's going to get worse. Look at the color guard. Our color guard. Hey, wait, you're too old for the color guard. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm just following. I rode my bicycle all the way down from Muscle Shoals.
I bet you
Lawrence,
did.
Alabama to Shoals.
Matter of fact, at that game, we didn't have anyone succumb to the heat. A lot of people all over the stadium did, but we had a plan in place. This plan started with our new administrative assistant, Miss Katie Herron. She had gone around and gotten donations of liquid IV and that powdered Propel that you put in your drinks, so you're getting a lot of electrolytes. She got donations of water and all this liquid IV and Propel. So we rotated the students in and out of the stadium. When they were up there, it's just concrete and aluminum stadium, which is really hot too. So you're getting hot coming up from under you, but hot also coming from the heat. Yeah, we were looking into the sun the whole time. The reason they did that, we were technically, I believe, the home team. No, we were the visiting team. But they told me, the guys running it told me, we would put y'all on the backside anyway, because y'all are probably going to have more fans than Mercer, Georgia. Mercer University from Georgia. And actually, they had more fans than UNA did. Mm-hmm. And but they wanted the biggest crowd opposite of the cameras, as all it was, and I get that. So we were out there the whole time, and we had a lightning delay during the game, so that added about 30 to 45 minutes to our day. But that gave the kids a chance just to go down and get some more hydration, get some Propel, get some liquid IV. We got on the bus. Bus ride didn't smell too good on the way home, but we got back.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show. States Armed Forces by performing a selection which has become a University of North Alabama tradition, the Battle Hymn Chorale. Associate Director. Rebecca Tedder is the Auxiliary Coordinator. The drum majors are Cameron Hall of Priceville, Alabama, and Aiden Trout of Athens, Alabama.
So then a week later, when our season was supposed to start, we had Marching Band Extravaganza. That actually was an early start for us. Usually we don't play on Labor Day weekend, but this year we did. So our season looked fairly compact. It looked like September through the first week of November, done. But we added that game prior, which we're glad to go do. But then they also, because of that game, the president came and asked me, do y'all want to go to Florida State? And I said, well, do you need us there? He said, well, we have a donor that wants to help out with the funding. And I said, well, if you need us, we're there. You just tell us what to do. He said, well, let's do it. And so 2 weeks after our season was over, we'll be going to Florida State. For over 70 years, the men and women of the UNA Band have worn the uniform proudly. Just like the name of the university, the uniform has changed through the years. but the tradition of wearing the uniform proudly remains the same. Every student is fitted precisely and accurately. Or as close as possible. Every part of the uniform must fit properly and accurately. When seen in public, we must be the example of professionalism, confidence, poise, and dignity. Be the example.
I feel like you're recording me.
What? You've already done your penance.
I know, I've got to do more.
Okay, fine. I will give you this guy. All right.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, actually.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I'm hot, I'm sweating, but I got a little nap, so it's okay. Got some water.
also doing the band. Did they tell you about any of this stuff?
So they said it was fun, and I'm coming to find out they lied.
But you know why?
Well, him mainly.
But you know why?
Why?
Because back then, they didn't do any of this stuff.
I didn't do it. Yeah, that's true. I want to go 2 rehearsals a week, 5 to 9.
Okay, I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
2 rehearsals a week.
5 to 8 a week. I'm fine with that.
We need that. That way we'll get like roughly the same amount of
5 to 5:30 twice a week.
No.
Zoom in a little bit. Let me give y'all some advice here. All right? If you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem.
Wow, where did I hear that from?
That's copyright. That's so copyright.
This is my advice. There's only a 1-letter difference between cool and fool.
That's also copyright.
Be a fool, be cool.
So we started with Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. And there would be an element in the crowd or a population in the crowd who would know that right off. And it segued into Cole Porter's Night and Day, which is almost the same chord changes, not quite. And it made me wonder, did Cole Porter listen to that? I don't know. I've never talked to Cole Porter. He's been dead for years. But that was a good hit for us. It was a good opening statement and took us into Dizzy Gillespie's Night in Tunisia, which is a piece we've used in the past with great success, and we felt like we had some trumpet soloists who could really do that justice. And they did. They did a great job. We quoted another couple of tunes, ended quick, and the very last thing in the opener was Andrew Lloyd Webber's Music of the Night, just the last really evasive chord changes for that. Really was a nice way to end that piece. And one of the things we wanted to do in our show this year was move things along more quickly. And we were able to do that by quoting and pulling material from different pieces of music and just pushing through. So at the end of the opener, we really never stopped. The horns came down, we turned around in tempo, and we went right on into the next portion and quoted a little Moon River. We quoted some You Are the Sunshine of My Life, Stevie Wonder. We quoted Round Midnight, another jazz piece. But we ended up making it into Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting by Elton John. This was our majorette tune, and it really served well as a vehicle to let them show their talents. The majorettes were run by Ansley Hines this year. She did a great job. Great group of girls, very talented group of majorettes.
On the show. And now, please welcome the 2023 UNA Majorettes.
We segued after that into 7 Days by Sting, which is a piece that I think I would call it unexpected. A lot of people did not expect to hear that on the field. I was a fan of Sting back in the 90s. I know Dr. Wiggins was too. I mean, his music is very popular because he was in the Police and then he had a solo career, and he still produces a lot of music even to this day. But his music is very cerebral. It's not. He's had a lot of hits on the radio, but the vast majority of his library is at a level that it's kind of a niche. People listen to that because they really enjoy his take on music, not because they're going to hear it on Top 40. 7 Days is in 5/4.
Yeah.
So we had to learn how to march it, and the Guard figured out how to routine to it, and they came up with a really nice routine. The Guard was run by Julie Reeves and Miranda Haithcock this year, and they both did a great job, had great members on the Guard. Really creative and different looking routine. People really enjoyed it.
Solo.
Oh yeah, we had a solo by Shalonda came out and did a solo in the Segway while we were quoting Moon River and You Are the Sunshine of My Life. She came out and did a color guard
that was really
little solo. Oh yeah, people enjoyed that. Shalonda Locklear did that. And then we went right into All Night Long by Lionel Richie. Of course, it's a tune it's been so popular for so long. Everybody knows this piece. That featured our Lionettes. So that's like 40 years ago that was a hit, which kind of hurts my feelings a bit. I mean, I remember this. I was in high school when that was a big hit tune. And so it was really, really nice. The Lionettes were headed up by Reagan Hathaway and Kylie Nix. They did a masterful job at what they were doing and really had a creative routine. It was fun to watch. All the auxiliaries had great routines and were fun to watch. I've not found auxiliaries anywhere who can do any better than these at UNA. They really do a nice job at what they do, and they keep it so classy and so entertaining. There's always something new. They make it look so fun because they're smiling all the way through, although they run all over the field, stop on a dime, and begin performing. They just run everywhere. we found out how good as singers we're not, singing the little breakdown in the middle. But you know, if it wasn't great singing, it was at least comical. Then we segued into a Bruno Mars tune entitled "Talking to the Moon." I was not real familiar with the piece. I was going to use Henry Mancini's Moon River, which I was familiar with, but several people said, hey, you really ought to consider this tune, and I thought it was a great song, and it would connect better with a younger audience, so we went with Talking to the Moon, and whoever that was right. And then on the ending, we went into some Cirque du Soleil, Circus of the Sun material, where we featured a keytar. Never done anything like that, but a young man named Simon Edwards, who's a great pianist, percussion major here with us. We felt like he could handle that, and he could, and he did, and it was a huge, successful ending. It really gave us some new and different material, a way to approach some Cirque du Soleil material that we've never brought to the field. The crowds were ecstatic. It was very successful, and glad we did it. Now, I don't know how we're going to top that for next year unless we just light Simon's hair on fire and let him do that all over again. But I don't know. He likes his hair. We'll see. Yeah, Rebecca was coordinating everything back there for, I think we've had her on now as coordinator for 3 years now, I think. And she's been our trainer before that, and has an extensive training background, and keeps things rocking and rolling. You know, with 240 people or somewhere around there in the band, there's so many aspects you're going to be dealing with day to day that you can really get bogged down and not get anything done. You know, personnel things, logistics are huge, schedules are huge, and so having Rebecca there just to keep that rolling along every day. They had their routine, the things they did. When I'm talking about routine as in rehearsal routine, things they did every single day that kept the machine working. And then of course, Dr. Gray warming up the horn line. They had a routine they went through every day. Dr. Wiggins with the drum line every day, and he was helped by Dr. Pan. They had a routine they went through every day, and so it allowed me to be looking at drill, problem sets, things we needed to repaint, things that we were going to go over that day. So you need all those elements in place, and we could really use more, but it works beautifully the way we've got it, so you can actually accomplish something every day. With that many people on the field, it's very easy to lose time and waste time. And the one thing we want to be a hallmark of this program is we're efficient, that we have goals, we get those done, we ease on out of there. I think we had more early departures from rehearsal than we've ever had this year because they were able to accomplish what we went out there to do. I mean, these watches are not mid. I mean, they're bussing. They're high key. They're really good.
Put the hair back.
Alright, so y'all gotta like fill in, so it's like.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I can't even count.
Of the Shoals community.
Any boss.
teamwork.
we turn to the pop music sensation, Bruno Mars.
This phrase, you ate it, no crumbs, that you did really well if there were no crumbs. So we did a shot. So y'all left no crumbs. Well, you did leave a shoe. Somebody lost a shoe on the field, but there were no crumbs. Just a shoe out there. I mean, these watches are not mid. I mean, they're bussing. They're high key. They're really good.
That's Solomon Heichel on alto and Noah Herterhan on tenor and Simon Edwards on piano.
I went to get my pickle out of the car.
Of course, everybody does.